today we are visiting Scone Palace, just outside Perth in Scotland. And we've just been inside. We weren't allowed to take any photos or anything inside. It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly well done, I wouldn't have said. There wasn't a lot of rooms to see.
No, we went to Blair Castle yesterday and we much preferred that for the same price.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was, it was fine and that was okay. And we're now on the Moot Hill. And apparently, when the soldiers came here, they all brought earth from their homelands when the kings were being crowned. And they emptied out their boots with the earth. And this is how this little hillock was made, with the earth from boots that was brought from all over Scotland, presumably. And this is a replica of the stone of Scone. And apparently all the kings of Scotland that were crowned using this stone until Edward I took it to Westminster Abbey, where it stayed for another 700 years. That was in 1296, and it was returned to Scotland in about 1990 something, I think,
Yes,
end of 1990 something, and it was taken to Edinburgh, where it's now in Edinburgh Castle, and this is a replica here.
Did we see it in Edinburgh Castle? I don't remember.
No, I don't remember seeing it in Edinburgh Castle, but we obviously missed it there, didn't we? Yeah, so Scone Palace is okay, I'd say, but I'm not that enamoured.
No.
But I think we'll have a wander around the grounds and we'll see, won't we?
Call it off, let it go.
This is the centre of the Murray Maze, and I have to confess that we didn't actually find the centre.
We did cheat.
We came out and then we came back in, and it's very near the end. It was a very confusing maze, that's fair enough to say, really.
Yep.
And also not helped by the fact there were so many people working around with piles of leaves everywhere, but that's my excuse.
I was going to say, that's it, isn't it?
But yes, this is the centre of the Murray Maze. We are at the Pentland Hills Regional Park. We've just been for a walk for a couple of miles up there to a reservoir and back. It's fairly chilly here. We're going to camp the night here because, bizarrely enough, we are now back just on the edge of Edinburgh, because tomorrow I have to take the train south for a family funeral. I'm going to be gone for 2 nights. Roger's going to be left on his own. Ooh, scary.
That is a bit of a worry, I have to say.
And then I'm coming back Friday afternoon. So we had to kind of get somewhere that I could get a relatively fast train to the south from. So Edinburgh Waverley was the chosen station.
So we're about 6 miles or so.
I think it said 7.5 miles. It's going to take about half an hour to get there, I think, at the moment, but it'll be more than that in the morning. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like at the moment it does its job. Where we're parked is available for horse vehicles, vans and minibus. I don't know what a horse vehicle is, but I guess...
presumably a trailer or something like that, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Don't know. So yes, we can park here. It's free for the night. So
there's no signs that say don't park overnight. So
and lots of people have.
Yep.
So yeah,
we're hoping this is going to be a nice, quiet place.
Indeed. Jill's had to go off for a couple of days, so I took her to the train station in Edinburgh and decided to stay in Edinburgh because there wasn't actually that many places to wild camp around the area. And whilst I'm here, I thought I'd have a look at Cramond Island. So Cramond Island was, or is, an island that's cut off by the sea twice a day, so it's very much a tidal island. And this causeway will be flooded in a couple of hours, I think. So I need to be careful with my times. But it was last inhabited in 1905. These blocks you see are actually from the Second World War. And basically they were there to stop ships sneaking in this side of the island. So all of these blocks were put there to stop ships. And yeah, it looks quite a nice little island actually.
Last night we parked up about 1.5 miles outside Callander, which is on the edge of the Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park. We just walked into the village. Quite a nice little village, very busy because it's the Jazz and Blues Festival on there. And now we're going to walk back to Henry and drive on to get our ferry to the Hebrides. I arrived yesterday a few hours later than planned into Edinburgh on my train, having been south for my family funeral. Roger, meanwhile, sort of hung around Edinburgh-ish.
I did, yep. Washed the van.
Washed the van, washed the clothes, etc., etc.
Wasn't the best wash in the world, but I only had 12 minutes and I didn't time it very well, but there you go.
And originally we were meant to be going from Mallaig to Loch Boysdale, which was going to be like 3.5 hours on the ferry. And then the day after we booked it, we had a text that said, actually, your ferry's been changed. You're now going from Oban, and instead of being 9 o'clock in the morning, it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's going to be about 5 hours, we think, on the ferry. So we're not going to get to the Hebrides until it's dark, which is fine. So we'll find somewhere to stay. I think we're going to try and book a campsite, and we'll just see what happens.
Yes, I found a campsite just around the corner, and it's just we say a campsite, it's just basically, somebody said, email me, so I'm going to email him, and it's something like £12 for the night.
We don't need electric hookup or anything, do we? So
No.
that's fine.
So hopefully that will be perfect for us.
That sounds like a good plan to me. We've got cash specially for that job, haven't we? So
We have, yes, apparently most places have honesty boxes.
I've just been reading about this, and I've actually learnt something today, which is I thought the Romans basically stopped at Hadrian's Wall, but actually across the fault of the Great Glen, well, I don't think it's the Great Glen or not, but anyway, the Highland boundary fault line. So from here up to Inverquati and places like that, there was a whole line of Roman forts, and this was to watchtowers across the Highland frontier, I guess, to try and control the Iron Age community. And this, you can see in front of me, was actually an old Roman fort. The clouds have lifted a little bit from when we went out, which is always good. And then behind me there was an old camp. And then they retreated to the line of Hadrian's Wall, which, as I say, I didn't know that.
No, I just thought they always stopped in at Hadrian's
Yeah,
Wall, but
so did
obviously
I.
they didn't.
No, obviously not. And yeah, there's a picture of what it would have looked like with some like wooden gates and wooden turrets and things like that. It's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, so it's by the late 80s AD
Yes.
that they retreated.
Well, it says in the 80s there was a military base.
Yeah, but in the late 80s.
Oh, in the late 80s, troops were needed elsewhere. The Roman army retreated south to the line that became Hadrian's Wall. So this fort was only actually in use for a few years. They built a massive fort here and they didn't use it very much.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
So, how was your first night on the Hebrides last night?
Well, we're not on the Hebrides because yesterday we were driving to Oban to go and get our ferry. We thought we'd get there quite early, have some lunch, because we weren't going to get to the Hebrides till about 8 o'clock. So we were planning on getting to Oban about 12 o'clock, and about 11:30 I got a text on my phone saying my sailing, or our sailing, had been cancelled. So we thought, well, we'll go to Oban anyway, we'll have some lunch, we'll work out what we're going to do. And while we're in Oban, we basically had another text that said the next available ferry we can get you on is not until Thursday afternoon or something. And we just thought, actually, we're fed up with all this messing around. This is now going to be nearly a week later than we'd originally planned.
Not going from where we wanted to
Not
go in
going
the
from where
first
we
place.
wanted to go from in the first place, and we just thought, nah, this is going to be too much of a faff. So we spent last night in Glencoe, or just off Glencoe. This is Glen Etive. We found a lovely little snug spot for Henry here last night, nice and dry on the ground as well. And actually it was a lovely night last night. It was quite cloudy, unfortunately.
It was quite cloudy.
But it was a beautiful night. It wasn't too windy, which was always good. We had not too bad a phone signal either. We managed to, no, we didn't watch anything on telly actually,
No.
did we? But yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. It was very peaceful as well.
So this is the James Bond Road.
Yes, so this is where he filmed with M when he was trying to get away from the baddies in the Skyfall film. And
So it's about a 12-mile road, dead end.
Yep.
Takes you to the lock. So we're about probably 8 miles into it. And
about
we're
7 miles in,
7
actually,
miles.
aren't we? Yep.
Yep. We're about to do the last 3 or 4 miles, see what's at the end.
Yeah, we're going to drive down to the lock now and see what there is. And the only other thing we've got planned is we decided to go on the train, haven't we, from the Bridge of Orkney to
Corral.
Corrour, which is meant to be one of the most remote stations in the UK on Tuesday.
Yep.
So we booked that this morning, and that's about it at the moment.
A ridiculously early train, so we booked for 8:36. Basically, there's about 3 trains a day going on there, and it was either 8:36 or 12:30, and we didn't really want a late train, so we're going to go there and see what's around.
Yep, see what it's like. So having had our disappointment of not going to the Hebrides, we decided to stay another night in Glen Etive, and we've come down here to the river to drone, and the river just looks so deep. It's such a dark colour, but it is beautiful, absolutely lovely. And we're going to try and get the drone to go under the bridge if we can. Be a bit scary.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I was going to say. We've never tried that before, so we will wait and see how that goes.
Yep. Lovely little waterfall there as well. It's very low cloud today, but it's lovely. I went for a run this morning, and yeah, the cloud was a bit rainy at times. So I think I was pretty lucky on the whole. It did say it might rain today, and it hasn't yet, has it really? So
No, it hasn't, no. But it's a lovely valley, isn't it? You
it
can
is
quite see why they've
gorgeous.
done a fair bit of filming here, apparently.
Tell me why you're not just calling. You know that I'm raising more. Solid or nothing, no. Baby, I need you always.
So we decided last night to stay another night in Glenetive because we just loved it so much. The scenery is quite stunning. We went for a little walk yesterday and it was just beautiful. It was a bit rainy last night on and off, but this morning we've woken up to an absolutely gorgeous morning. There's low cloud, blue skies, absolutely stunning.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It is gorgeous.
We did change positions, so we moved to a different parking spot last night. But once again, very nice. There was nobody here. Absolutely fabulous. And we've woken up to this really low cloud, which is lovely.
As I say, with the blue sky, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Talking to no one but me. Oh no, really my one and only. We can be. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, a beauty, always wonderful, precious. 'Cause you're always beautiful, wonderful, oh beautiful. Oh my gosh, she's wonderful. MJ, wicked. Oh MJ, I want you to know. MJ, stupid. Oh MJ, just tell me now. I don't wanna keep you cold. Fully suited, I'm still knocking, and nobody knows. I'll take you by surprise, 'cause I'm falling into. Baby, I need you always to be talking to no one but me. Oh no, really my one and only. Can't you see? Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, a beauty, always wonderful.
So here we are on the Glencoe chairlift. We're going to go up and just see what's up the top here. We thought we'd just give it a whirl, basically. As Roger said, can't remember the last time we went on a chairlift, and certainly never without skis, I
No,
don't
I
think.
certainly don't remember, so.
Because the ones we've been on in Switzerland have all been little like gondolas, haven't they?
They have, yes. But it's a lovely day still today.
It is, it's beautiful.
A few clouds around, but no, gorgeous.
We thought we'd come up and have a little wander up here and see what there is. So we've got to the top of the Glencoe chairlift. Well, we can't get to the very top, but we've got to the top of this particular chairlift, and the view is out of this world. Absolutely amazing.
It's not bad, is it?
You can see all of the valley. You see the big road down the bottom there, the A82 or whatever it is as well, but just you can see for miles and there's hardly any civilization around either. This is incredible.
And it's such a clear day today. We've been very, very lucky.
We've chosen a good day to do this, haven't we? So we left the top of the Glencoe chairlift and just walked up to this little hillocky thing that was quite nearby. It's less than half a mile. And it is an incredible view up here. You can just see everything. I don't know if that's Rannoch Moor with all the lakes over on the right-hand side there. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can just see all the way down Glencoe. You can see the busy road and you can hear it a little bit as well, the A82. But it is lovely up here. All those mountains with the low cloud. Absolutely gorgeous.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Gorgeous, gorgeous.